This is my SharePoint Enterprise level introduction regarding document management. In this presentation, I'm going to give a step-by-step overview about information architecture regarding document management in SharePoint. Proper document management is a crucial task, especially in these times when we use AI to process content automatically to gain information from the saved document content. Also, with good document management, the SharePoint search is able to process the document content more efficiently, and the search results become more predictable, suitable, and relevant. In SharePoint, the fundamental pillars for content management are based on the site columns and content types. But before any custom columns or content type can be defined, a content analysis is necessary. Based on the analysis results, it is then possible to create custom columns and custom content types in SharePoint. Let me explain the process. At first, it is very important to know your data. This sounds simple, but in reality, the question, what kinds of documents with which metadata do you use in your company or organization, is not easy to answer. To answer this question, it is necessary to analyze all kinds of documents across the company in each department. Here, the example company has the following departments: marketing, purchase, sales, IT, finance, legal, HR. And each department has got different kinds of documents with different metadata fields. For example, the HR department has the following metadata fields: ID, type, title, version, classification, tracking fields, description, valid to, expiration, employee number, and department number. And the legal department has own documents with the following metadata: ID, type, version, title, classification, tracking fields, description, valid, expiration, case number, related documents, field of law, compliance level. And at last example, the IT department has different documents and metadata too. For example, ID, type, title, version, classification, tracking fields, description, valid to, expiration, system name, patch level, administrator, critical. This means, in the first step, it is necessary to collect the following information: which document or document templates are used, which metadata is used. Try to extract additional metadata during this analysis process. After the first step, the question, what kinds of documents with which metadata do you use in your company, should be answered. Step 2. Generalize the information. With information from step 1, it is possible to find out common metadata fields and how they related to documents. In this example, I'm using only the following 3 departments to demonstrate this process. Here you can see all found metadata fields for each department. And you can see some of these metadata fields are shared across all documents. These shared fields should be extracted and assigned to a so-called base company document. Later, all company documents will be inherited from this base company document. Important note: only metadata that are shared with all documents from all departments should be assigned to the base company document. In step 3, the needed content types can be defined based on the information from the previous step. The root is the base company document content type. This content type inherits from the SharePoint document content type, as you can see here. For each department, a custom content type is defined. Here we have the departments legal, IT, and HR as examples. If there are any metadata fields that are shared with all document types within the department, these fields should be added to the base department content type. For example, the field system name is shared in all IT department document types. All other department-specific content types are inherited from the department-base content type. Define for each content type the necessary metadata fields. Now it is possible to extract all necessary site columns and content types. I recommend to make a list of all needed columns and content types. You see the summary here for the site columns and here the summary for the content types. To transfer the defined content type structure to SharePoint, at first the site columns must be created. For this task, summarize all needed site columns and go to the content type hub. From here, it is possible to create all site columns. Use for the site columns a custom group. This helps to find their own site columns later. You see, unfortunately, this is in German, but here is a UI where you can add new site columns. And for organization, you should put your own side columns in a own group. Then you can find side columns later easily. For a step-by-step guide, see my YouTube video in the description how to set up side columns. In the next step, the content types must be created. This happens also in the content type hub. Put the content types in a custom group as well. This helps to find the custom defined content types later. Also, assign a custom document template to each content type. For a step-by-step guide, see my video in the description, how you can set up your content types. To assign a template to a content type, you can just open the content type after you have created it, and then you find the settings template here under extended settings, and then you can reference document template for your content type. This makes sense that you define for each content type in your organization also a proper template. And next, the question, why so much work? Consider the advantages. Consistency across site and libraries. Define metadata once in a content type. Reuse it in multiple lists, libraries, or even sites. Changes to any metadata will be updated everywhere the content type is used. This means standardized data structure across the whole organization. Improved information management. Document templates. As I said and I showed you, you can reference a document template to each content type. Metadata fields are used in content types and they are bind to the content type. You can connect workflows or Power Automate flows to content types, and you can define retention and compliance policy. Search and filtering are more powerful. Because metadata is consistent, search results can be refined using side columns, what I told you at the beginning of the presentation. SharePoint Search and Microsoft Purview can classify and manage content better when content types and side columns are consistent. Reusability and maintainability. Instead of recreating the same columns and settings in every library, reuse the tenant-wide side columns. This is very important because I see a lot of companies, they are using, of course, libraries, document libraries, and they recreate always the same column, and that is not preferable. You should apply or set up tenant-wide side column and you use this side column in other libraries. If your new department or site needs to use license, in my example as a license document, they can just add the existing content type, and supports automation and governance. Attach Power Automate flows or SharePoint workflows to specific content types. Enforce policies, for example retention labels, at the content type level. So this was my short presentation and step-by-step guide how you can prepare your content and to set up your side columns and content types in SharePoint.